Hi, everyone. So, in continuation to the discussion, perhaps we are going to unlock first. Uh, the hashtag for today is unlocking first. Okay. We are going to talk about and understand the landscape of the tech in terms of the deployment and the others where consumption is less, equal to low, and we are solving the problem to reach to a point where protocols itself is self executing. Okay, so I'll wait for a couple of minutes before I start. I'll fetch some data. If you have any questions, put your questions in the comment box and we'll look into it. So I'm putting myself on mute. We'll start in a while. So the discussion today is around the consumption and particularly in terms of onboarding folks from even a lot of people are unconnected right now. So there is a disconnect at every, I would say, determination step of the consumption. We discussed few of the pattern applications few days back, and that was taking into account the data set, and perhaps the data set itself has to be the correct data set so that the market analysis can be performed. And for the performance of the primary market research, the data set has to be at point. um, that being said, what is important here is probably maybe after this discussion, I didn't get the application I was looking at. Anyhow, um, the point of contention here is the consumption has to be less, and particularly from the current data set, which is known to many, and particularly in the landscape of India, we have to utilize the pain points of even like the amount which is provided to each household in terms of how much is the consumption, whether it's in terms of fruits, vegetables, and the others. There has to be, although here the input data itself has to be the output data. What I mean by this is the output data has to be the input data. That means, or vice versa, perhaps from the view of understanding, is to have a constant of the discussion in terms of this is the output number, and that number has to be the input. And accordingly, the distribution has to be done to combat the current scale of menace which has happened not only due to the lockdown but due to the ignorance of so many things by so many authorities. And honestly speaking, each stakeholder is responsible for whatever is happening, so we cannot say that one particular stuff or one particular stakeholder is responsible or one particular ministry is responsible. We have to look into the aspect of the others in terms of how to unlock the capital. And here the capital which I'm talking about is the intellect is the real capital. Rest all is just a facade. If we talk about the offline world, definitely we cannot um, build those coins in the offline world or that cash inflow. But yes, in the coding world a lot can be done. A lot of coupons can be generated right now just to mitigate the current tariff which India is undergoing, because um, a lot of things have been manufactured, but if the output is not there, we are not there ready, then that output has to be input. And we have to make sure that the warehousing, because of the current calamity of the nature, it's really tough to have good uh, warehouses. And the utilization of tech in terms of the deployment of technology which has been developed globally, that has been utilized, create the pools which are capital, not capital intensive. It is only that use the capital of the intellect to safeguard and unlock the protocols which can onboard folks on web 1.0 also, for that matter. And then of course, the way I see it, I don't see the onboarding of a lot of folks on web 3.0 for at least next 150 days. So that's my 25% of understanding of the current landscape of how the global stakeholders are approaching this overall menace of, uh, although the peace should prevail, but this is what the current scenario is, and we have to see the reality and look into the data set of how things can work out. Thank you for watching out the video. If you have any questions, you can always send me a DM. We are already in talks with the authorities to get things done in a fast, speedy manner. So let's see when this comes to reality.